जय श्री राधे श्री वल्लभाधीश की जय। सब वैष्णवन को हार्दिक सादर और सप्रेम जय श्री कृष्ण, जय श्री राधे. The story of Gopal Das and Itor, a Kshatriya from Punjab in the west. So this is day 74 and Varta 67. In the eternal Leela, he is a Sakhi of Sri Lalitaji, named Nrityakala. Once she became very proud that she was very good in singing, more than any other of Sri Lalitaji's Sakhis. Knowing this, Sri Lalitaji called her a fool and cursed her to fall back to earth. On the back of this offence, he was born into one Kshatriya family in the west of Punjab. When he grew up, he planned to go to Gaya and Vraja on pilgrimage. First he arrived in Braj. He bathed in Mathura and then came to Varanasi. And again back to Mathura. On the way, he caught up with Sri Acharyaji. They came to a camp in one small village. That night, some aggressive thieves came there and Gopal Das got injured on the hand with a sword. They stole lots of things and money. In the morning, Sri Acharyaji asked Gopal Das what had been stolen. He reported that money, pots and pans and all sorts of other things had been taken. Don't worry about this, he said. When we get to Agra, I will send for some funds from my home. However, the question is how to pass these few days until we get to Agra. This is my worry. My injury will also soon be better. Sri Acharyaji then said, you have experienced some effects of your destiny. Through these events, they have now been wiped out, so do not have any anxiety. If we need any money, we will be able to get it from Krishna Das. Gopal Das asked, what does that mean? That this was the effect of some karma and mine, and that it has now been wiped out? Sri Acharyaji explained, 10 years ago, when you were going to some village in the night time, a thief who had just been stealing in another place met you on that road. You caught him and beat him up. You took the stuff he had stolen, and now the situation has reversed upon you. Now your stuff was stolen, and you were beaten. Do you realize my meaning? Gopal Das said, yes, Maharaj, you are right. This all happened 10 years ago. After this, Gopal Das took 5 rupees from Krishna Das and left, but began thinking, Sri Acharyaji is the Lord himself. He knew all about what happened in that place even 10 years ago. Therefore, I should become his disciple. This is the only way for my life to be fulfilled. He requested Sri Acharyaji to accept him as a disciple so that through his grace, his worldly woes would be removed. Sri Acharyaji said that he would initiate Gopal Das in Agra. Gopal Das, however, insisted that it be now. Who knows how long I will live? I am here with you now. Who knows what will happen next? Then how will I become your disciple and take refuge in you? Sri Acharyaji told him to bathe, and when he came back, he initiated him with the Lord's name and Brahma Sambandh. Gopal Das then supplicated, O Maharaj, I am a total fool. I know nothing of your path of grace. Please bless me that the principles of the path of grace become firmly established in my heart. I also know nothing about your form. Sri Acharyaji gave Gopal Das some of the water in which his feet had been washed and also taught him his Siddhanta Rahasya, the secret doctrine treatise. With that all the principles of the path of grace took their place in Gopal Das's heart, and he realized Sri Acharyaji's true form. Gopal Das bowed down to Sri Acharyaji and sang his praises in many ways. In the Chokara, poetical meter, Sri Acharyaji said, Gopal Das, the Lord has blessed you. Gopal Das bowed low and said, but I have never taken his name. How would Sri Thakurji know me? This is all through your grace alone that you have accepted a soul so fallen as myself. Sri Acharyaji was pleased to see Gopal Das's humility. Vaishnavas should always be humble. Gopal Das came to Agra with Sri Acharyaji. He also went to Braj with him. Gopal Das had the sight of Sri Govardhananachi and then took his leave of Sri Acharyaji and went back to the Punjab. He was always immersed in composing and singing such poetry. Part 1. One time Gopal Das came to Adel to Sri Acharyaji. It was Sri Acharyaji's appearance day. He took his bath in saffron water and sat down to worship the great sage Markandeya. While he did so, Gopal Das composed the following verses. Ragiri Lawal. Sri Vallabh has taken birth in this Vaishakha month of our enchanting beloved Lord. He reveals the path of devotion to those souls trapped in the world. Those who take shelter in him are liberated therefrom. He grants fearlessness to those who give their heart to Sri Hari. Says Gopal Das, he is Sri's beloved and has revealed the Lord's Leelas. He is the giver and the enjoyer, one without a second, the true Lord of all the three universes. He removes the sadness of separation from the Lord and helps those souls to swim over the worldly ocean. Just seeing him makes the souls crave his association. This longing for the beloved relieves all their worldly suffering. Those who remember his name burn up their sins. Even the lines of the Vedas stand before him with folded hands. His qualities uplift the fallen. His character leads the souls by the hand to him. Sri Vallabh's appearance reveals endless pastimes of the Lord, and Gopal Das sings of them. Within Sri Vallabhacharya's shelter, the devotee finds the maidens of Vraja and the cowherds, all the Gokul residents he plays in those forests, the fragrant spiced leaf that he chews. There one can enjoy the loving mood of serving Sri Krishna, the remover of all sorrows, and the joy of union with the Lord together with the experience of his love. The devotee's heart is filled with these. With his innocent character, Sri Vallabh grants the vision of all his pastimes and his qualities. Even Sri Radhika veils her eyes when she catches sight of this love-filled, lovely form. Gopal Das now sings of all these pastimes that appear along with Sri Vallabh. He is the highest divine internal and embodies all the incarnations that have appeared in this age of Kali. Whosoever sees him easily realizes him to be all these forms, as well as the very life breath of his devotees. O Sri Vallabh, you are the life breath of your devotees, and you reside as the eternal witness in your devotees' heart of hearts. May I constantly have the names of Lord, Ram, Krishna, Mukunda and Madhav on the tip of my tongue. Sri Krishna is the Lord of the Gopis and the friend of the hopeless who have no other refuge, whom the Vedas declare to be most compassionate. Gopal Das now sings of how Sri Vallabh has appeared to reveal all these endless pastimes. Part 1 continued. Hearing this, Sri Acharyaji became very pleased with Gopal Das, and Gopal Das was a very accomplished Vaishnav and a recipient of Sri Acharyaji's great grace. Thus concludes Varta 67, the story of Gopal Das, Itora Kshatri from the Punjab. In reality, however, his tale has no end. Continuing on with Varta 68, the story of Janardhan Das Chopra, a Kshatri from Taneshwar. Bhav Prakash. In the eternal Leela, he is a gopi in the Kumarika's group named Krishnavati. He was born into a Kshatriya home in Taneshwar. His father served the local ruler as an armed guard. Once that ruler decided to try to overcome another ruler, and he took his army there, including Janardhan Das's father. But his father was a coward, and when the battle began, he ran away in fear. He ran home and said to Janardhan Das, who was 16 at the time, "I have run away from the battlefield. The ruler will certainly come looking for me and kill me for sure." Janardhan Das said to his father, "That was very wrong of you. You are of warrior caste and you should not have run away from the battle. Now will it be hard for you to live here?" His father said that he would go east to Varanasi, thus saying he left. He went east and then south. Other soldiers also ran away. Even the ruler escaped. Some time after this, the matter was settled and the ruler has returned to Taneshwar. He inquired of all the soldiers as to who was the first to desert the battlefield. They all said that it had been Janardhan Das's father. The ruler ordered that he should be captured and brought before him. The soldiers went to Janardhan Das's house and took him back to the ruler, who asked him where his father was. "He was the first to abandon the battlefield, and then the rest of my army dispersed. Therefore, I wish to kill him. If you don't tell me where he is, then I shall kill you," he threatened. Janardhan Das piped up. "My father ran away and came home here. Out of fear for you, he ran away, saying he was going to the east, and he also mentioned Varanasi. But I am here. Do whatever you want to me. The ruler said he was lying and that he probably had his father hidden somewhere. Janardhan Das told him to get a report written to this effect if he thought he had hidden his father, but that he was not lying. The ruler had him thrown in prison, and that evening the ruler's house caught fire, and his whole family was killed. Only he was alive. He realized that he had made a huge mistake putting Janardhan Das in jail. I am suffering the result of punishing an innocent, he reasoned, so he called Janardhan Das to him and said, I punished you without any reason. You had nothing to do with your father running away. My whole family is now dead. Therefore please call your father to come home, and I will say nothing. Whatever was to be has happened. If you don't believe that I will do this, please call 10 good men from your village, and I will write and sign to that effect in front of them. They did exactly that, and so it was all right for Janardhan Das's father to return home. Do not fear, said the ruler. Now if I say anything, I will be known as a liar. The ruler owed a lot of back pay to the father, and he gave it all to Janardhan Das. Janardhan Das went home and started to think how he could get his father to come home. He thought that he must be somewhere near Varanasi and decided to go and look for him there. If I don't go, he will never come, he thought. Janardhan Das set off from Taneshwar and arrived in Agra. After setting off from Agra, he found 2 gold coins on the road. He picked them up and was very happy, thinking that his luck must be very good for him to find gold on the road. After a distance of 2 more camps, he met Vasudev Das Chakra. Janardhan Das asked him if he had seen his father. Vasudev Chakra replied, I have not seen your father, but let me tell you one thing. Please pay attention. I am telling you this because you are a divine soul. Janardhan Das piped up, You are my elder and like my guru. I am your client. In fact, I am almost your son. I will do whatever you tell me. Vasudev Das said, You have left your home, so now, first of all, you should go to Sri Gokul and Mathura, and there you will gain the sight of Sri Acharyaji. Surrender to him and serve him. You have seen a lot of suffering in this world. Now become his disciple and fulfill your purpose. Anyway, why are you going to wander around Varanasi? Your father has gone to the south. He will die there after 1 month from today. Please do what I have asked you. Janardhan Das asked him how he knew that his father was in the south and that he would die in a month's time. Vasudev Das replied that he could see into time through the grace of Sri Acharyaji. You were happy to find 2 gold coins in the road. These coins will only bring you grief. Please give them away to some Brahmin. See, I know about the coins, and I know about your father. If you want now, please do as I ask. Janardhan Das saw that what he had said was true and attained faith. He realized that Vasudev Das Chakra was telling the truth. He bowed down to Vasudev Das and promised to now become a disciple of Sri Acharyaji. Part 1. Janardhan Das went through Mathura and arrived in Gokul. He had Sri Acharyaji's sight and bowed low before him. He decided it would be the best to give the 2 coins to Sri Acharyaji, and he did just that. But Sri Acharyaji said, You must be really stupid to find 2 coins on the road and come and offer them to me. I do not want them. Janardhan Das still insisted, But Maharaj, you are the Supreme Lord himself. When I was on the way here, Vasudev Das told me that you are the Lord incarnate, and that I should take shelter in you. Now I see that these coins are no good to you. They are only botherations, but please take me into your shelter. Please grace me in this way. Please give these coins to whomsoever you wish. Sri Acharyaji told him to pick up the coins. You can give them to any Chaube Brahmin in Mathura. Come with me to have the sight of Sri Govardhanaji. I will initiate you when we are there. So Janardhan Das carried the 2 coins and travelled with Sri Acharyaji to Govardhan. When they got to Anur, Sri Acharyaji told him to go and bathe and come with him to have the holy sight of Sri Govardhanaji. Sri Acharyaji sat him down in front of the Lord and initiated him with the Lord's name and Brahma Sambandh. Now, he said, serve the Lord. Janardhan Das piped up, I will do exactly as you instruct me. Sri Acharyaji gave to Janardhan Das Srinathji's turban to serve. Janardhan Das stayed with Sri Acharyaji for 10 days in Anur and learnt all the ways of the path of Seva in the path of grace. Sri Acharyaji then announced to him that he was going to continue his holy grace pilgrimage and that Janardhan Das should go home and lovingly serve the Lord. After taking leave of Sri Acharyaji and Sri Govardhanaji, Janardhan Das returned home to Taneshwar. News came from the south that his father had left his body. He reflected that Vasudev Das's words had come true, thus he was a great Vaishnava. Janardhan Das put his heart and soul into his seva. It was not long before Sri Thakurji allowed allowed him his direct experience. Whenever Vasudev Das came to Taneshwar from Simhanand, then Janardhan Das offered him sweet hospitality. I got to take shelter in Sri Acharyaji through your guidance, he would say. Therefore, whenever you come to Taneshwar, please consider my house your own and stay here. In this way, through a single moment's association, Janardhan Das became an accomplished Vaishnava. Therefore, one should always keep company with such uplifted Vaishnavas. Thus, Janardhan Das was a great devotee and recipient of Sri Acharyaji's grace. Thus concludes Varta 68, the story of Janardhan Das, a Chopra Kshatri from Taneshwar, although his tale has truly no end. Shri Vallabhadish ki jai, jai jai Shri Radhe, jai jai Shri Radhe.